Perfect. Okay, welcome to Chapter 3 on Consciousness. I'm Mrs. Huff, and I'm here today with Brennan, Bryce, Allie, and Lindsay, and we are going to discuss some topics as it relates to consciousness. The first thing I'm going to ask them is if they can tell you and help you understand the difference between selective attention and the inattentional blindness, change blindness, things that we talked about as relates to consciousness. Yeah, anybody that has an idea?
Okay, selective attention is our brain being able to choose a focus and to select what to notice. Inattentional blindness is when our attention is focused and we miss what others may think is obvious to see. And then change blindness is missing small changes in the environment that you never focus on.
Blindness when Miss Huff changed her shirt yesterday during class and only half the class noticed.
Right. So the people that did not notice, why did they not notice?
Because they weren't focusing on it.
All right. They didn't care. Essentially, that is a detail that we don't have to care about, so they didn't care. Okay. Anything else? Or other examples?
Inattentional blindness, watching TV and not seeing your mother walk through the door.
Good. And what is the big thing? What is the difference between, okay, so I didn't notice Mrs. Huff changed her shirt and I didn't notice my mom walking through the door?
The changing the shirt is very subtle and you wouldn't see that because you wouldn't, focus on a teacher's shirt per se, but, your mother walking through the door is a big thing. There's the shutting the door. It's your mother.
It's an obvious action. And so the inattentional blindness is something that's super obvious that you miss, and change blindness is something super subtle that you miss. So both of those things are missing things. Does anyone have an example of selective attention?
At a gathering, you're talking to one person and you don't pay attention to other conversations.
Okay.
Because you're focusing on that one conversation and choosing not to listen to the others.
Mm-hmm. So in the cafeteria, just pick today, what happened in the cafeteria or for lunch today that is an example of selective attention? Okay.
So Blake was telling a funny story, and so I decided to rather listen to him than what was going on around me.
I don't know. I was talking to 4 people instead of the other 50 that were in there.
All right, good. So focusing attention just on one thing. So today in class we talked all about sleep. So I will ask you, what impact do you think that sleep has on a person? Do you think you personally get good sleep, and how can somebody improve their sleep?
Sleep has a large effect on a person.
How so?
During REM sleep, it restores and repairs your brain. And it strengthens your memories, and it helps problem solving. And I personally get good sleep. I don't tend to wake up much during the night. And a person can improve their sleep by not being on the phone or watching TV and turning off the lights before you go to bed.
And
which, does the, what is it called, melatonin? It causes your melatonin to kick in.
If you don't sleep, you're going to be fat, old, stupid.
It's true.
Some other things.
Yeah, stupid, old, irritable, fat. And then there was one more.
Old. No, it was
stupid.
Sick is our last one, yeah. Sleep can impair your immune system, so it can make you more likely to get sick. Get good sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no? What can Bryce do to get better sleep?
Not play video games or anything late at night. Actually want to go to sleep. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing, too.
Wired to fall asleep.
Yeah, wired. So later on in this chapter, we end by talking about different drugs that have an effect on our consciousness and how we perceive ourselves in our environment. There are 3 major classifications of drugs. There are stimulants, depressants, and hallucinogens, which are the 3 core ones that we're going to talk about in class. What do these 3 classifications mean? So in other words, what is a stimulant? What is a depressant? What is a hallucinogen?
Stimulant is a substance that raises the level of psychological or nervous activity in the body.
Okay, so in your own words, what does a stimulant do to you?
Makes you, it raises your activity.
Jumpy.
Jumpy.
Yeah.
Okay. Depressant.
Slows your body down.
Hallucinogen.
Makes you hallucinate.
Okay, and what is a hallucination? Like what?
Like seeing things that aren't there.
Okay, seeing things.
Hearing things.
Good. So which of those three categories would alcohol be considered?
It would be a depressant.
And why? What does alcohol do to your system?
Slows you down.
Makes you react slower.
Your motor skills.
Very good, yeah. Your motor skills, everything is like it's in slow motion. It's sort of like a brake on your brain, slowing you down. So with what we know about the frontal lobe of your brain, what is the implication of alcohol use on young people as it refers to the frontal lobe?
Frontal lobe, the thing that develops last. So like when you're younger and you have alcohol, then it like
Doesn't
slows
develop.
down your
All right. So we're slowing the actual development of your frontal lobe when a young person is exposed to alcohol. And then in general, what is the frontal lobe in charge of?
your like your thinking, like your critical thinking, organization.
It's a J word I'm looking for.
Judgment.
Judgment. The frontal lobe is in charge of your judgment. And if you have an undeveloped frontal lobe, and that is not, you don't have good judgment yet because your frontal lobe isn't fully developed, and then alcohol is in your system, what's that going to do to your ability to make good decisions?
Slow it down.
Gonna impair that.
Going to impair that even more. So it's like a double whammy there for young people. Mm-hmm. So marijuana is our last one. What type of drug is marijuana and why?
Hallucinogen.
Mm-hmm. What does it do to people?
Makes them happy.
And why is that? That doesn't sound bad. I like things that make me happy.
They see what they want to see.
These are hallucinogens. It's not real. It is not real happiness. It's classified as a hallucinogen because those happiness experiences are just kind of in their mind. It is a hallucination.
Off your motor, like your whole motor functions, whatever.
Uh-huh.
What if you like kick and punch out? Like if you're like fighting in your dreams
Oh.
and you punch someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is that? Like
So that's your brainstem not totally turning off. So because during sleep is like this huge electrical storm going on. So when you're picturing or dreaming about kicking somebody or punching something,
Spreaker just kicked me.
he just kicked you. The part of his brain that's in charge of kicking is firing and making him kick you. And when you're sleeping and you're picturing yourself kick, that part of your brain is firing. And if your brainstem isn't totally turned off, you're going to do it.
Can you like dream while having someone else? Like if it might not make sense, but like for an example, my parents when we were on vacation, they obviously sleep next to each other. Well, my mom was having a dream and like did something to my dad, and my dad was having a dream and did something to my mom at the same time. Like he kicked her, where
In the dream?
Yeah, like he was fighting someone else, but kicked her, and she was like doing something involved him, and it just like both happened to her in the morning. They're like, "I'm sorry."
There's a bunch of different theories of dreaming. One of them that is not biological or like super scientific is like that you could have not dream control, but like two people could have the same dream or the same experience, and that could definitely happen with people in close relationships. So it's possible
their
that they would
dreams
have the
wasn't
same.
about each other, but like since
but
they
they
were
both-
next to each other and they like involved each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, that might just be because when you're married, your dreams are most likely going to include the other person. But
I just
that's
thought that was really funny.
That is funny.
They both told me in the morning. I was like, "This is hilarious."
Okay, so we'll end on hypnosis then.
Yeah.
Quick question. So we will not probably have a whole lot of time to talk about hypnosis in class. How many of you have been hypnotized? None of you? Okay. Good. Never to do it? So when a person is under hypnosis, the thing about it is that they will do things they might not be consciously aware, which is why we talk about it in the consciousness chapter. There's two different theories. There's a theory that, you remember how we have a low track mind and a dual track mind? What does that mean, a dual track mind? Which one are you consciously aware of?
The low track.
No, the dual track.
The high track. Yeah, you have a dual track mind. It has a high track and it's a low track. The low track is the one you're not aware of. The high track is the one you are aware of. There's a theory that in hypnosis what is happening is that person is tapping into your low track mind, the part that you're not aware of, and basically you are doing things, but you are unaware that you're doing it because they have found a way to talk to that part of your brain that you are unaware of. Now, how they do that, it's I don't know. It's mostly through suggestion, and the other theory is called social influence theory, where people are just kind of going along with it. So, Allie, I'm going to hypnotize you, and even if she doesn't think that she's playing along with me, and she's like, okay, when I snap my fingers and tell her to go to sleep, she's going to do it because she's playing along. It's sort of like advanced role playing. She's just pretending.
Isn't it like when you wake up from being hypnotized, you feel like you got really good night's rest?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people will get there is hypnosis therapy, like if you're trying to quit smoking or lose weight or different things like that, because what they will do is basically tap into that unconscious part of your brain, give it some suggestions, and it's like your high track mind is asleep. So it's like half of you gets a good night's sleep while the other half is active, and that is why you feel good and rested after it. Who told you not to get hypnotized? Because you do that.
He's just like, you don't ever want to do that, just because then they can make you do things you don't want to do.
Yeah, because it is a part of you that you are unaware of, so you never know because you're unaware of what's going on. All right. So our test is next Tuesday. Any questions about the test in general, the class in general? Feel good? All right, well, thank you guys very much for being here. Hope people that are listening learned something, right? Anything you want to say to our listeners?
Kevin did well.
Oh, Kevin, get well soon. Yes, for Kevin. All right, see you later.